Flying feels dangerous. The news stories spreading fear, the viral videos of emergency situations. Every shake, every hum, every flicker of light outside the window reminds us that we're suspended miles above Earth, in a metal box moving almost the speed of sound. And yet, the numbers tell a different story. The odds of a catastrophic failure are practically zero. Thanks to social media, viral videos, and sensationalist news updates, the illusion of danger has never been stronger, but the reality of flying has never been safer. Because modern aircraft don't just fly, they have safety engineered in at every level. Every moving part you can think of has a backup, sometimes even a backup to the backup, waiting quietly behind the scenes, ready to take over. It's not luck keeping you in the air. It's design, data, and decades of improvement and learning what truly works and what keeps us safe. Welcome to Lift and Thrust, your authority on all things aviation, brought to you by an active commercial airline pilot. In this video, we will discover why flying is safer than ever, even with all the scary headlines. The fear paradox. We know that fear of flying influences millions of people's lives around the world. In this video, we'll provide some assistance for those suffering from it, whether it's for business, holidays, or just peace of mind. Armed with facts and reality, rather than scary stories, you'll be able to relax and travel, leaving your stress behind. The thing is, our brains blow every minor flight hiccup out of proportion. I still remember my first transatlantic flight. Palms sweating, heart racing, every bump in the air felt terrifying. But over time, I realized these sensations are almost always harmless. Studies from MIT and the NTSB show that flying today is statistically safer than ever, significantly safer than driving to the airport. What we're really seeing isn't more danger, it's more visibility. In the age of endless scrolling, social media loves a scare. Every shaky turbulence video, every emergency landing, every pilot radio call, they go viral within minutes and they reappear again months and years later. It makes rare, isolated moments look like they're happening all the time. But here's the truth. Over 100,000 flights take off and land safely every single day. Millions of passengers, countless journeys, and not a whisper about them online. Because calm doesn't trend, fear does. The real problem isn't up in the sky. It's in the algorithm. News feeds reward panic, not perspective. And while headlines shout near disaster, aviation professionals do something very different. They wait, they study verified data, official reports, and facts. That's how aviation improves, not through noise and speculation, but through discipline, constant learning, and respect for the truth. So, by the end of this video, you'll understand why flying is about 95 times safer than driving and how planes are engineered, tested, and monitored to keep you safe in ways most people would never even know. Aircraft reliability. Let's be honest, a lot of the fear around flying is just fear of the unknown. Knowledge is the best antidote. The unexpected sounds you hear, the flashing lights, the hushed conversations between the crew. They're all part of a system designed to keep you safe. Let's talk about redundancy. Did you know that modern jets have two of almost everything, sometimes even more? 2 engines, 2 hydraulic systems, multiple avionics. If one fails, the backup kicks in instantly. That whirring noise? Often just a backup system testing itself, performing exactly as it should. Yes, it can sound alarming, but it's actually a lifesaver in action. Now, let's talk about the ridiculously extreme testing all airplanes go through to ensure safety, from lightning strikes to wing stress and hail to engine ingestion and frozen chickens. It may sound wild, but that's exactly how engineers guarantee safety. Each system is built to survive far more stress than any scenario you're likely to encounter. Modern commercial aeroplanes have an extremely low accident risk, with recent statistics showing a fatality risk rate of approximately 1 in 30 million flights. FAA and EASA certification requires systems to remain safe even if several components fail simultaneously. Think of it as multiple safety nets. If one fails, another instantly catches you. Statistically, jets are safer than ever. Redundancy, extreme testing, and certification mean failures are infinitesimally rare. Most fear comes from not knowing what's happening. Once you understand these safeguards, what feels scary suddenly becomes reassuring. Engine testing. Trial by fire. Modern engines are truly incredible in their resilience. They're run at extreme temperatures, fed all kinds of foreign objects, and pushed way beyond their limits, repeatedly, before they ever carry passengers. You might be surprised to know the frozen chicken test isn't a joke. Yes, it sounds absurd, but engineers literally launch frozen chickens into engines to ensure they can remain safe in the case of hitting a bird in flight. Hail, debris, even volcanic ash? All simulated, all tested, all proven. And that's just the start. In engine ingestion tests, turbines are blasted with tens of thousands of liters of water and chunks of ice to mimic flying through violent thunderstorms or taxiing through flooded runways, and they must keep spinning flawlessly. In temperature extremes, aircraft are frozen in Arctic hangars at -40 degrees Celsius or baked under desert sun exceeding 50 degrees Celsius to ensure hydraulic fluids, electronics, and even cockpit displays never fail. And just when you think it's over, think again. Next comes lightning testing. A jolt of up to 200,000 amps is fired into the fuselage to prove the aircraft can safely conduct electricity through its skin without harming passengers or systems. Airframe stress tests are equally brutal. Wings are bent until they almost snap, sometimes flexing over 25 feet from tip to confirm the structure can survive turbulence far stronger than any passenger will ever experience. By the time a plane carries passengers, every bolt, cable, and control surface has been through punishment no normal flight will ever endure. Here's the thing, our brains exaggerate danger. We hear about rare incidents and fixate on them, but statistically, failures are almost non-existent. Planes are built to survive not just the routine, but the improbable, the extreme, even the absurd. And the pilots? We train constantly to handle these scenarios, so even when something unusual happens, there's always a plan B, multiple backups and emergency systems ready to step in. Pilots in 2025, training and expertise. Pilots today are trained to levels that would have seemed impossible just a few decades ago. Commercial airline pilots undergo from 18 months to 5 years of rigorous training, including thousands of hours in theory, simulators, repeated emergency drills, medical evaluations, and continuous assessments every few months throughout their careers. Yes, I remember how it feels. Stepping into the cockpit for the first time can make your stomach twist. But here's the thing. Every scenario you fear, engine failure, hydraulic loss, total system blackout, has been rehearsed hundreds of times in frustrating detail. Modern simulators cost tens of millions of dollars each and can recreate every emergency you could imagine in your worst dreams, so we can practice and learn to handle whatever is thrown at us. By the time a pilot flies passengers, it's almost second nature, and we keep on practicing and being tested every single year. And here's something some passengers never realize. There are always at least 2 pilots in the cockpit. Every flight operates with a captain and a first officer, both fully qualified and able to fly the aircraft independently. Each constantly cross-checks the other's actions, verifying data, reconfirming settings, and sharing decisions in real time. It's not just machine redundancy, it's human redundancy at its best. Here's the kicker. Airlines spend millions per pilot to ensure errors never reach the cabin. Every decision is scrutinized, every failure simulated. A single mistake can cost the airline millions, and that's before you even factor in reputation and regulation. In modern aviation, safety isn't a choice, it's non-negotiable. To put it in perspective, you are literally safer flying with a freshly trained 2025 pilot than driving to the airport on a good day. Does that put you at ease? The turbulence myth. What it really is. Turbulence scares almost every nervous flyer, and yet it's rarely a threat to the aircraft. Let me explain. What feels like chaos is actually just invisible pockets of air or winds moving at hundreds of miles per hour. For example, thermal shifts, jet streams, or mountain waves. And modern aircraft are built to glide through them as easily as a boat rides a wave. Imagine you're driving over a bump at 100 miles per hour. Your body bounces, your stomach drops, but the car, completely unharmed. That's turbulence. Planes are built and tested beyond breaking point, so they can handle far more than any turbulence can throw at them. That flexing and bouncing of the wings you see during turbulence? Part of the design to improve the airframe resilience and the ride for those in the cabin, harmlessly absorbing the energy of the air. The fuselage can withstand powerful gusts, and pilots are trained to correct and steer through turbulence safely every single time. It may sound surprising, but commercial aircraft are tested in wind tunnels at conditions no human will ever experience in real life. The plane can literally twist, shake, and bend and still land perfectly safely. So while your stomach might scream danger, the aircraft and the pilots are calmly performing a ballet of physics that keeps you safe and sound. Fear perception. Why incidents seem more common. Even though dramatic incidents grab headlines, the truth is clear. Flying has never been safer. Let's look at some actual facts. Between 2018 and 2022, the global fatality risk per passenger was just 1 in 13.7 million boardings. Compare that to 1968 to 1977, when the risk was 1 in 350,000. Flying is now roughly 39 times safer than it was 5 decades ago. In high-standard aviation countries like the US, UK, Australia, and China, the odds are even lower, around 1 in 100 million. Imagine that. Yet fear sometimes blocks out reality. Social media, constant news coverage, and flight tracking apps make minor events, like planes returning to the gate for small technical issues, seem like major disasters. But the truth is, these are exactly the kinds of events that modern safety systems are built to handle, without ever putting passengers at risk. Ironically, the chaos you witness is just the safety systems proving how safe aviation really is. The calm truth. So what does this all mean for you? Flying is statistically safer than driving, surfing, or even giving birth to quadruplets. Every system, every engine, every pilot and member of ground staff is part of a network designed to make sure you reach your destination safely. Having a fear of flying is normal and isn't something you can just switch off, but understanding redundancy, pilot expertise, and system reliability gives you a calm edge. Knowing the odds, and I mean the real odds, makes the experience far less intimidating. Every day, over 100,000 flights take off and land safely worldwide. Statistically, the chance of being in a fatal crash is almost zero. So next time you board, remember, you're not defying gravity. You're using simple laws of physics and flying on certainty. Knowledge, not fear, is what keeps you calm at 35,000 feet. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Lift and Thrust for more exciting aviation content every week. Let us know in the comments below, what's the one thing about flying that still makes your heart race? Until next time, fly safe.